I hear the organ going. Let's see what the organist, Ben Phillips, is up to. Maybe we can get in and he won't notice us. Did you mean to play that? It sounds like you're getting the note values wrong. I'm not sure. Let's go review the note values for a moment, okay? Then cut. Smile. All right, thanks for coming in, and we'll review note values because they seem to be giving you a little trouble today. And it's a very difficult opening to that piece, I know. So, let's start off with, I know you remember that the piece itself, the time signature, is a big C, correct? The big C for common time, which is how many beats in the measure is in common time? 4. 4. That's excellent. Okay. And so if we wanted to write a whole measure's worth of a note, we would use what's called a whole note. And that looks like just like a big O. Of course, the placement would be dependent on the note itself, but we're not going to worry about that, just the value of the note, because I think you have the positions of each note down just fine and where they correspond to the keys, but the values seem to be a little mixed up. So that would be a whole measure in common time. It would be 4 beats, correct? All right. Can you tell me, if I wanted to write half a measure, what is that called?
A half note. A
half note. Excellent. And we could write that, it's like a smaller O with a line. And it goes, that line goes up or down depending on where it is, correct? Correct. Okay, so if I wrote it down here, it would be going up, right? Right. But it's still the same in value, isn't it? Okay. Now, it's interesting how things work. They just divide in half. And so if we want to do half of one of these half notes, it looks like this, except it's filled in, right? And that's called a quarter note. It's filled in, still has a little line on it, just a straight line, right? Right. Okay. And if I want to cut one of those in half,
flag on it.
What's a half of a? We think in fractions, so yeah, it would be half of a quarter is an eighth, and we would put a little flag on it. We'll put the eighth note down here. It looks just the same, but with a little flag on it, like that, right? And that's an eighth note. That's a half of a quarter note. Quarter note is half of a half note, and a half note is half of a whole note. Okay, that's very good. Now, I know that in this piece, things keep dividing in half, right? And they go all the way to a 32nd note. Yes. Goodness me, which is an amazing thing. So if we have an eighth note, and then we want to divide that in half, how do we do that, Ben?
Put 2 flags on it.
2 flags. But what have I done wrong on this one?
The stem goes either on the other side or the other direction.
Excellent. The stem goes either on the other side or in the other direction. So let's put it down. And we'll put 1 flag. That makes it an eighth note. And if we put 2 flags, it makes it a 16th note. Very good. And a of a 16th is 32nd. It's just like measuring things on a tape measure, isn't it? So we could write a 32nd note, and how do we do that? We added a flag to get to a 16th. Do we add another flag?
Another flag.
That's excellent. 3 flags. It's like a bad hurricane day. 3 flags flying, and that's a 32nd note. What if I wanted to add? Let's say we know this is 4 beats. Each half note is 2 beats, and if I wanted this somehow to be 3 beats, how can I do that?
Put a dot in front of it.
I could put a dot next to it, right? So if I wrote a half note and put a dot next to it, that tells me that that's not 2, but now 3. That's different than the dot over it. It has to be next to it, right?
Right.
Okay, very good. Could I also somehow connect 2 notes like this if I wanted to make 3 beats?
Sure.
And that's the same, right?
It's the same value.
Okay. I think you have it. So let's go try it again. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we're ready to see if Ben has the note values down and can play the piece properly now. Here we go. Excellent.